A question that's come up in the comments over the past month as I've gotten back into Star Citizen with a variety of gameplay videos here on the channel is, do I recommend it, and should you buy it right now? Now, you probably already know from the title of this video, is I don't recommend people buy it in general. Now, the long answer most streamers or YouTubers are probably going to give you, myself included, are, it's an alpha and it's not finished. It's more like a tech demo with interesting mechanics at the moment. It's only for those that want to watch a game develop over time. That's one that I've used on multiple occasions. But instead of going through all that, let me walk you through today's Star Citizen game session, my very first half hour or so you can see exactly why I don't recommend this in general for gamers to get into Star Citizen today. As of writing this script, it's the day after Veterans Day, November 12th, so keep that date in mind and look at the video versus when you're watching it. Even if it's 6 months or a year out from now, things have most likely changed, massively changed, hopefully, for the better. So today's game session started with a goal of doing some solo mission running in the current version, to see how the space AI is working out and to make some credits and just get a feel for the newest version. On average, I spend more time playing with other people in the Armco community coming up with our own fun than doing traditional missions that are offered, so this should be a good test to get a feel for the game from a new player perspective. So as is the norm, I load in, wake up in my bunk on Port Olisar, and head down to spawn my Hornet, one of my favorite fighters, and the first ship in the game that they demoed back in the original Kickstarter video. This variant only has the one seat, unlike the Super Hornet that I've also got, and has no back turret currently mounted. Jumping in and getting the ship's systems revved up, you can hear that throaty throttle main engine revving up sound that I'm greeted with, and I'm also greeted with my first bug as I launch. The canopy on my fighter has become possessed and opens on its own. Closing it, I think I hit some key I'm unaware of on the keyboard. Or the server is being a little odd. But no, I find it's a bug, and it just keeps opening itself over and over again as I travel around Port Olisar. Turns out it is a bug. Some of the guys in local chat give me the trick to fixing it, requiring me to land, get out of the ship, close the hatch, and then using the interpilot seat command. If my character gets in without any more inputs from me, then it's fixed. If not, I have to do it again. Now it's a minor bug. It's an alpha release, right? No big deal. Nice community gave me some quickish fixes, and it's not a big problem. So with that particular gremlin exercise from my Hornet, I launch and set course for my first mission, a bounty hunt. Now I've never done a bounty hunt before, so this should be a fun way of getting some combat flight time in and making about 1,000 credits. The mission's simple: locate and bring a target to justice, Bobby Brigati. No other details are offered on the mission, no guidance in how to bring a bounty in for justice, or steps to complete the goal. Some fluff text and an icon pointing the way. Easy enough. A quick jump and bam, I'm in orbit of a ringed planetoid. And panic mode. I can't control my craft's pitch. My mouse has zero flight control effect, though it can still move around on the screen. I can roll with the keyboard, I can control my throttle, but no mouse flight controls whatsoever. I'm also heading toward the planet's surface. I'm starting to think my target isn't on this side of the planet, as I can see the ground clearly and he's still 900 kilometers away. Turns out, right shift on the keyboard is a pitch lock that's listed as cycle aim modes in the options menu, so there's no chance I would have found that on my own. So without the friendly people in the server at the time, the average player would have been stuck. Unsure why their flight controls are suddenly locked down. Once again though, problem solved thanks to friendly players. So let's get to that bounty. Checking my map, the target isn't on the surface. He's in orbit on the other side, in the belt. Cool. Little disappointed when local chat tells me that only player bounties can be found planetside. But it's fine. Let's get this guy and get paid. After making a couple of jumps, I find myself on the dark side of the planet, in an ice field. It's incredibly off-putting, as the rocks are blanketed in shadow against a dull, dark sky. I burn hard to close the 30-kilometer gap between me and the target while being very careful not to end up smashing into one of the chunks of rocks I can barely see. It is a beautiful sight, and this is the most immersive and fun moment of gameplay I've had on this mission so far. Dodging rocks in shadow. Eventually, I reach my target, with a HUD indicator that switches from locate to neutralize. Guess I'm more assassin than bounty hunter. But I assumed this would be the case, like it is for most MMOs. But something's wrong, and it's not just the fact that the HUD icon is larger than my target, covering up my ability to see what it is I'm eliminating. No, the bigger issue is, I can't get a target lock. My ship system refuses to lock onto him. I start to think, maybe the keybind has changed? But I check it, and no, that's not it. I can see the HUD telling me he's hostile with a small red indicator I've seen countless times before, yet my ship can't lock on. By this time, I've already tried to just shoot him, but without a target lock, I can't tell if I've hit him, and the HUD's covering him almost completely, so getting any visual feedback like his ship shield shimmering is impossible, as my heavy can bursts out rounds. The only feedback that tells me that I've hit him with a few rounds is he starts firing back at me. So he's now hostile, firing and chasing me, and I still can't lock him. You can understand my frustration here. Having a lock on a target and having him your primary target gives you an aiming reticle that lets you track and lead your target, not just for missile locks. We're talking about just having him selected. Once again, friendly locals inform me that I need to use the newish scanning mechanic. You gotta hit tab, hold down right click, and then release. It'll put out a pulse in the area and scan it. I boost away, get some distance, and I put all my shields forward to give me a moment to scan as I flip around towards the chasing enemy. He's closing fast. I get a lock! A quick thanks to the locals as he's approaching and it's time to dive in. I get into a sliding dogfight. And explode within seconds. I didn't rebalance my shields. Though he was ahead of me, I guess the bullets hit my flanks? I'm not sure. The screen goes black, and the game refuses to load back in. I have to reload as the game sits there at that black screen with no indicator of it crashing. But the escape menu is still working. Bizarre. And that's my first 30 minutes of today's game session. Now, every time I load into Star Citizen, there is something new that goes wrong. And the reason that I don't recommend Star Citizen to the average gamer is because it is a game that's built around the idea of immersion. And every one of these bugs will pull you out of the experience, and you're almost guaranteed to have one. Now, it won't be the same bug, and I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be saying, well, those bugs never happened to me. Just because you have a sandwich doesn't mean there's no world hunger. Just because you haven't had any of these particular bugs, I can guarantee you've had some, in some way, in Star Citizen almost every time you load in. If you enjoy watching the game progress over time as it gets developed, then I recommend you jump in. You probably enjoy it. But if you're looking for a full science fiction experience, you're gonna wanna wait. Keep an eye out for all the YouTubers who are doing content on it, and when the time comes, you're gonna hear about it because you're gonna see a lot of people playing it. But for now, sit back, enjoy the development, watch the new content and the artistry that comes into it, and hang back and wait. I might do another one of these videos if you're interested in the general gameplay, as this was the 30 minutes of a 4-hour game session, and every half hour or so was similar issues that cropped up. But there are moments, like flying through that dark, ice-covered asteroid belt. It kind of gives you a sense of what the game could be, and those are very exciting and very fun. All right, everybody, I look forward to hearing in your comments what your thoughts are on recommending that people buy the game now or waiting. What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next one.